ahead, Celeste. It's not going, it's just doing.
Better now, because this is a highlight of my evening. Because it be some bullshit during the day.
I understand. I
Actually, I had
totally
a day like
understand.
that too today, but I'm glad it's fall. And so I don't know if the little things make you happy inside, like weather changing and things like that. I love fall and I love things like that. So it kind of overshadows when like
Mm.
you said, so that's when bullshit start dropping in. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, okay, I'm gonna divert my mind to this kind of stuff because, especially when it's work related. You know what I mean? As soon as I get off, I'm done. You know what I mean? I don't really want to think about it until 6:30 in the morning and I'm doing it again. But so it's just one of these things we going through, we lifing in this time of the season, the year, and a lot of things is going on. But this topic, y'all, I just want to get right to it. I don't want to belabor the point. This topic, I know y'all are freshly new to it because I'm new to it because somebody asked me to do this topic. Survivor's jealousy. It sounds really deep, don't it?
Sound like some bullshit.
Well, it is bullshit because if you have a friend that is um jealous of you when okay, let me just give you the backstory. My friend asked me to do this episode because this person was in a long-term relationship with a friend that they knew practically all their lives, right? My friend has actually recovered in life. She's been through a lot of things, illnesses, recent death of a parent, and um, been through two divorces in her life. I know she doesn't mind me sharing this. And she just told me one of her particular, she considers a really dear friend, was always there when it was dark. But things have changed. She has met a new person in her life. She's very happy. She actually has she has her own business, so her business is prospering, and she's found a new church home. A lot of good things is going on with her, right? But this friend is not around as much, for these good times. And when she does talk to her, she's always freshly reminding her of the storm she was in.
Okay.
So she was saying that she actually she's still in therapy. She's been continually in therapy, and her therapist told her about survivor jealousy. So that's when a person is more happy and glad and joyous inside, not showing you, like you said, Charles, showing you pity, which is, we know is a sin. But when you start to come into your season where you're prospering, they are really jealous because they're more happy and content with you in your dark and in your storms. So my question for you ladies is, have you ever incurred this in your life? And what is your thoughts on it?
I'm
Don't everybody talk at once.
Well, I was this years old when I heard this concept because I'm gonna tell you, I've experienced it, but I always thought it was that person was just built for the rough times. They don't really have
That's a good
that
one.
That's a good way to look at it.
well, but they good at that whole, oh girl, it's gonna be okay, girl. Don't
Mm.
worry about we all broke, honey. And I just thought it was, now that everything is fine, like she's going for the next person she could go, ooh.
Mm.
well, because I believe that that's some people's role.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to be the person in the relationship that's always the fixer. So the
Mm.
fixer is always here to help you fix a situation, to help you out of a situation. And that's what they deem as friendship when friendship is supposed to be reciprocal, right?
Right.
And you guys know what I've always said about your circle, right? You're
Mhm.
going to have some friends who aren't doing so well sometimes, some who are doing well, and then you should be right there somewhere in the middle, right? But if you're always at the top of your friend group, and you're always the one fixing the trouble, then that should stop and give you pause, because why? Why do you always need to be the one that's the rescuer? Why do you always need to be the one that's the fixer? Does it make you feel better to be with people who you feel are less than. And so, is it more about jealousy or is it more about uplifting their particular ego? And so now that you've said it, it can make sense. I think if I have experienced it, then I probably ran the other way. And I had a friend tell me one time when I was in need of help,
Mhm.
and she offered to help me, and I said, no, thank you. She said, Chauncey, if you don't accept my help, then I won't consider us to truly be friends. And we've been friends a long time. You've always been there for me, and you have to let me be there for you.
Mhm.
So where grace is given, it must be received, right? And so I took that, I accepted the help, and then I truly understood it from a different point of view. So when you bring up, the survivor's jealousy, then I'm thinking that people do it too without thinking that it's jealousy, right? They just always want to be the one to fix it as well, but it comes off to be the same thing.
But I think it's a fine line because I hear what you're saying because I think that that person right there and everybody has a role in the friendship. So I agree with that. But I think that when you're talking about survivors jealousy, it's people intentionally
Mm,
see you
okay.
unhappy. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
Not to see you happy because when you're happy, they're not happy and they're jealous that you're happy. That's a whole different mindset. You see what I'm saying? Because I think that when we think about people that we know, that people like I have some friends are very empathetic, you know what I mean, to things that I go through in life. And when, I don't hear from them often when things are going well in my life. I don't think that they're sitting back throwing darts in my damn picture and acting like that bitch. You know what I mean? I think that they're just happy and content then I'm doing well. You see what I'm saying? But I think the ones that and I can identify in my life, and I'll let Keisha and you go, Celeste, or if I'm missing somebody, I'm sorry. I think the ones that I have ran across that did want to see bad shit keep on happening, I think that they showed their colors because when bad stuff was happening and things turned good, they came back to remind me that that bad shit was still there. Are you sure it's all gone? You know what I mean? We want to make sure that you know that it's true. It's not all gone. Like, okay, your ex-husband, girl, I saw him over there the other day. I know you ain't with him no more, but I saw him over there. Girl, remember when he used to do this stuff to you? It's trying to reenact things, you know what I mean, that was painful to you because that makes them feel empowered. You know what I mean? That makes them feel happy. And I've known people like that because if you start a conversation, especially about somebody I used to be with, I'm gonna cut that short because first and foremost, it's only a few people and y'all know who y'all are, know the trials and tribulations, but I'm free from that. You know what I mean? And I've been free from that for a long, long time. Is everything perfect? No. But when it's not perfect, I share it with people that it's not perfect, but I know they're not trying to use it to have like some ammunition in their pocket. So I think it's a slight little difference, and I think that people play their role. I do agree, Chauncey, when you think about people who is always on the top and they're more satisfied with people being beneath them, you know what I mean? That's a whole nother issue. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they're at the narcissistic level and they want to keep, keeping everybody under them. They want them kind of friends. But I don't want them kind of friends either because I want to be inspired. You
That's
see what I'm saying?
exhausting. That's exhausting.
Yeah,
So,
I don't want me to do that. Keisha, go ahead.
so my thoughts on it is, first of all, this is my first time hearing the terminology,
Mhm.
survivor, jealousy. And so, however, I don't know if I have experienced that. If I have, like I said, I don't know it. But
Right.
what my thoughts is maybe it's a person who wants to just hear a juicy story, just as long as it's just juicy to them. So all your problems, like, oh yeah, I can sit back and just want to hear all the turmoil or whatever that's going on in your life, and maybe on the inside of them or way they feel is, where they might have that fake empathy for you or pity for you, but to them, it's like, wow, she's doing bad, and I'm not doing that way. That I'm doing fine. I'm not like that.
Right.
So I just think that maybe it's just people that just want to hear a juicy story. Just just down for the juicy story. And once your life is
I'm
good,
glad
it's
you putting
like
the I'm glad you
it's
putting
no
the
more,
spin on it.
it's nothing juicy about going on. I go to work, I come home, there's nothing going on. We cook dinner, we ate, we watched TV. It's nothing going on with that. So therefore I have nothing to some people thrive on that. So therefore I'm not thriving off of that information. It's just like watching reality TV. I mean, people don't watch reality TV unless there's some drama going on. If there's no drama going on, like I could never be on a reality show because it's like, oh my God, she's going to bed, or oh my God,
So
she's not doing
I,
that much.
I
We're gonna
think
cut her off. But if I was calling everybody's name and every time we go to dinner, there's a fight, there's some drinks and stuff going on, then oh, so I think it's that way. As long as you're doing what I perceive that you're doing worse than I am, then I'm good with it. But if you start doing better, then hey, I don't have time for that. So hopefully, and I know that the people that I deal with, they don't think that way.
Yeah,
So
that's unfortunate.
but it makes them
fortunate for
better
that.
themselves knowing that you're going through.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the jealousy comes in. I never really thought about it like that because, you don't really think like that. If you're not that type of person, you really don't
It
think.
does not cross my mind. Like,
Yeah,
But think about it though, because when Kimmy first brought it to the table, what immediately came to mind is that family member that will never ever let you forget your worst day.
yeah, that's them too.
So,
Yeah.
we're saying friends, right? But if we stop and we think about it, it's really family members, right?
Mm-hmm.
That really you're experiencing survivor's jealousy with, right? Because we're that family member that ain't gonna never let you forget that you was broke. That never let you forget you was down and out. That never let you forget that you had to borrow $150 from them. Remember that time when Hef was a pup and I loaned you whatever, and then now you can never. So then, no matter how well you've done, they'll always try to bring you back down to that time, like, and it's so far beyond you.
Mm-hmm.
I
So you need
immediately
to
thought of
tell the
them.
person take the needle off the record and move on. The
Yeah,
needle is stuck.
yeah,
Take it off,
Yeah.
take it off, and play a new song.
Mm-hmm. My grandma's favorite saying was, when my brother hear this and he editing, family is kin to the cat and the cat kin to the devil. Now, excuse my little cat, but I'm just saying. She used to say that because I agree with you, Chauncey. There are family members, and that's why I make a concerted effort to not limit the family members that know what my personal life is doing. You know what I mean? Because let's keep it up high. You know what I mean? Because you still got me back 20 years somewhere. You know what I mean?
right,
And trying to keep me there. I can get AARP, so I don't really need you to tell me, what I was doing when I was 21. You see what I'm saying?
exactly. And
So,
that, yep, and that's what made me. When you said it, I thought it even more of friendships. I
mhm.
thought it more of family members. You know what I'm saying? Because with friendships, sometimes you do peep it sooner, right? And sometimes people have been friends for so long that they're like family. I get that. But that's what I would still constitute to be family, right? You've known me for 40 years or whatever, then that's family, right? And so if you always got to bring up what happened to me negative, like, okay, can we move on?
okay. But do
Oh,
we think? I'm going to start right. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm there with y'all. I'm almost there. I'm thinking about even my mom who says stuff out her mouth. But is it always jealousy? I know it's not always jealousy, but if they knew what this word was, if they knew how it showed up, would they be doing it? Because sometimes I be bringing up stuff to my kids. I'll be like, yeah, now you don't, you don't follow through on everything you thought. So do you really want to quit this job and be a juggler? You know what I'm saying?
But that's different. That's different because you know what I mean? Because you're being the voice of reason, right? And you just happen to have um, a history based on trying to be that voice of reason. But what she's talking about is now that you're doing well, that person got to keep throwing that at you and keep reminding you, but you're doing well. And so, what's the problem with me doing well? I can't do well like you can do well. I
aren't you
can't
gonna be
make
happy I'm doing well?
yeah, I can't make money like you can make money.
Yeah, but I want you to remember you was a juggler and you you ain't had no job. I want you to
It's
remember
different. It's
so you
different.
don't
It's
never do that
different.
again. So I get this concept, but I just want to make sure that people be aware of it and they understand what it is so they can avoid the actions that they're doing. Because I don't know that everybody, of course, we
Yeah,
know people who are doing it are manipulative, they're doing it on purpose, but
right.
they're that's probably doing it, don't have a clue.
Yeah,
Don't
because
even
some people are
realize.
just like, negative Nancy. They can't help
Yeah.
themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I will tell you this. I know negative Nancy's and I try not to be around them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
And
not
like you said, if you're dealing with a narcissist,
Mhm.
right? And we all have them in our lives, we all know them. You
Yeah,
know, a narcissist doesn't feel like that's what they're doing, right? So they
right.
never think that they are jealous of you. So the point that I was making and the point that Celeste was making, by us calling it survivor's jealousy, now that it has a name and a person might recognize that in themselves,
Mhm.
it could possibly make a change because they never considered it to be jealousy.
Mhm.
We call it hate, right? You know,
Hate,
you throw
hater.
hate, right? You're a hater.
Hey,
And so, but to have that particular terminology makes the person, it should make that person look at themselves and be like, dang, I never even thought of it like that.
yeah, yeah.
Good
That's
episode. This is a good episode. So my final thoughts is that when someone looks at this episode, I hope they can identify if they do it. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's not like you said, Chauncey and Keisha and Celeste. It's not something that because everybody y'all kind of said pretty much a different thing, but in the same version. Maybe some people are not aware that they do that and that, friendship, even family members, is something that is ever changing. And because it's ever changing, you should treat people accordingly. You know what I mean? Not sit back in the time zone unless you just can't, get past yourself. And, this is an episode that you can identify with because if you're not aware you're doing it, check out this episode. Maybe you'll know then. Maybe you'll know why you got two friends instead of the five you used to have because you just happy with the two that are constantly in storms or struggling. That's my final thought. Keisha?
I would say two things. One to watch out for that. Kind of take notice since you watched this episode, when you watch this episode, and also take pause with yourself. Check yourself to make sure that you're not doing it.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
mm,
Chauncey?
Um, Everybody has different experiences. Sometimes we have shared experiences,
Mm-hmm.
but good or bad, let that person have their experience. Let them live through it, let them cope with it, let them deal with it, and you be there for them and let that be the end. And even maybe bring it up in a way where you just say, remember when you survived that event
Mm-hmm.
and look at how you came through,
Mm-hmm.
and then just let it be done.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Celeste?
Well, everybody is not your friend, that's for sure.
Bing, bing,
We
bing.
are careful of what we're sharing because everybody don't mean you well. Them old people tell you in a minute. Everybody don't
Mhm,
well. They smile and they don't mean you well. So
mhm.
this is not, everybody's not aware of this term or they're not aware of if they're doing it. Just make your circle small, like Chauncey always says, and just be guarded a little bit because you don't need no negative juju, whatever they call it. You don't need none of that.
I agree. I really agree.
Mm-mm.
I bet Herb been in this episode because it looked like two in the back and ready to start a fight.
They jealous that each one can't
They
get to
jealous of
the
each
door.
other. That's
I-
why I'm used to all day running and chasing each other. But this was a good episode, and
yeah.
I hope everybody really enjoyed like I enjoyed this episode. So joining me tonight is
It's your girl Celeste, and don't forget, taking care of oneself is not selfish; it's necessary, especially if you know somebody who's jealous.
exactly.
This is Chauncey. Do all the good that you can for as long as you can.
This is your girl Keisha. Learn and grow in your own lane.
Hey, and I'm your girl Kimmy. Join us next Wednesday when we drop a new episode. We'll see you back on the porch then. Take care.